Did you know there's a flower that can count, a plant that can hear, and a secret, invisible language written on petals all around us? Stay with us as we uncover the most relaxing and extraordinary truths about the world of flowers. If you love discovering the hidden wonders of the natural world, take a moment to subscribe and let's begin our journey. We often think of value in terms of gold or jewels, but one of the most precious substances on earth comes from the delicate heart of a flower. I'm talking about saffron, derived from the crocus sativus, or the saffron crocus. Each of these small purple flowers produces only 3 tiny thread-like crimson stigmas. These 3 little threads are the entire harvest from one bloom. To produce a single pound of saffron spice, farmers must painstakingly hand-pick the stigmas from over 75,000 individual flowers. It's an almost unbelievably delicate and labor-intensive process, one that has remained unchanged for thousands of years, which is exactly why saffron is, gram for gram, more expensive than gold. It's a testament to how something so small and fragile can hold such immense value. But a flower's power isn't always measured in its worth to us. Sometimes its genius lies in its ability to deceive. Deep in the meadows of Europe, a master of disguise is at work. The bee orchid has evolved one of the most remarkable and specific deceptions in the entire plant kingdom. Its central petal doesn't just vaguely look like a bee. It has evolved to perfectly mimic the appearance, the texture, and even the specific pheromones of a female bee. Unsuspecting male bees, seeing what they believe is a potential mate, will land on the flower and attempt to mate with it. During this process, called pseudocopulation, pollen sacs from the orchid stick to the bee's body. When the frustrated bee flies off to be tricked by another bee orchid, it carries the pollen with it, ensuring the flower's legacy continues. It's a brilliant, if slightly cheeky, evolutionary strategy that turns the pollinator into an unwitting accomplice. From intricate deception, we move to a different kind of intelligence, a form of biological arithmetic. Plants aren't supposed to think or remember. Yet the Venus flytrap seems to do both. This carnivorous plant, with its iconic jaw-like leaves, doesn't just snap shut on anything that touches it. Doing so would be a tremendous waste of energy if it was just a falling leaf or a random raindrop. So it has a system. Inside its traps are tiny trigger hairs, and for the trap to spring, 2 of these hairs must be touched in succession within about 20 seconds of each other. A single touch does nothing, the plant waits. It's this 2-touch requirement that acts as a confirmation system, ensuring that the object inside the trap is alive, moving, and likely a nutritious insect. In a very real sense, the Venus flytrap is counting to 2, using a form of short-term memory to distinguish a meal from a false alarm. It's astonishing to think of a plant with a memory, even one this simple. It blurs the lines we draw between flora and fauna. What's the most surprisingly clever plant you've ever come across in your own life or garden? Share your story in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. This ability to sense and respond to the world gets even more profound. While the Venus flytrap feels its prey, other flowers are actively listening. Recent studies have revealed something truly mind-bending about the evening primrose. Scientists discovered that these flowers can actually sense the vibrations in the air caused by the wing beats of an approaching bee. It's not just a passive process. The flower actively responds to this specific sound. Within just 3 minutes of hearing a bee nearby, the evening primrose significantly increases the sugar concentration in its nectar, making it sweeter and more appealing. It's essentially sweetening the deal on the spot to better reward and attract the very pollinator it needs to survive. The flower isn't just waiting for visitors, it's listening for them and rolling out the welcome mat. Flowers listen with their petals, but their most famous language, of course, is visual. And that conversation is far more complex than we can see with our own eyes. If you were a bee, a simple field of buttercups would look completely different. That's because many flowers, including common ones like sunflowers, primroses, and pansies, possess a secret layer of communication. Their petals are adorned with intricate patterns that are only visible in the ultraviolet spectrum of light. To us, a yellow petal is just yellow. But to a bee, that same petal might have a dark central bullseye or guiding lines pointing directly toward the center of the flower. These markings, known as nectar guides, are essentially landing strips showing pollinators the exact location of the nectar and pollen, making the entire pollination process faster and more efficient for everyone involved. This silent language of color can be used not just to invite pollinators in, but also to tell them when the party's over. Some flowers have the incredible ability to change their color after they've been pollinated, creating a clear signal for visiting insects. The lungwort plant is a perfect example. Its flowers bloom in a vibrant pinkish red, a color that is highly attractive to bees. However, once a bee has visited and the flower has been successfully pollinated, it begins to change its hue, shifting over to a shade of purple and then a deep blue. Bees are less attracted to this blue color. By changing its appearance, the flower is essentially putting up a no vacancy sign, telling new bees not to waste their time and energy on a flower that no longer has nectar to offer. This directs the pollinators to visit the other unpollinated red flowers on the plant, dramatically increasing the plant's overall reproductive success. It's a beautifully efficient system, a silent conversation of color, chemistry, and cooperation that unfolds in gardens all over the world. These blooms aren't just passive decorations. They are active participants in the world around them, calculating, listening, and speaking in ways we are only just beginning to understand. But flowers are so much more than just biological machines built for reproduction. They are masters of persuasion, conducting a silent, invisible symphony for the senses. And it all begins with the air we breathe. When you lean in to smell a rose, you're not just inhaling a pleasant perfume, you're intercepting a complex chemical conversation. A single rose fragrance is not one thing, but a staggering blend of up to 400 unique volatile organic compounds, each one a word in a sentence we can't consciously read, but can profoundly feel. These compounds are a flower's language, used to attract pollinators, repel predators, and even send warnings to nearby plants. It's an aromatic lexicon of survival, a broadcast of identity so specific that a moth can distinguish its target flower from hundreds of others in the dead of night, from miles away. This broadcast, however, isn't always on the same channel. Many flowers are masters of timing, changing their scent profile to match the schedule of their preferred guests. The night-blooming jasmine, for instance, remains demure and almost scentless during the bright hours of the day. But as dusk settles, it unleashes an intoxicatingly sweet and powerful perfume into the cool night air. This isn't random. It's a targeted invitation, specifically timed to attract the nocturnal moths that are its primary pollinators. It conserves precious energy by only advertising when its target audience is active, a brilliant strategy of scented efficiency that turns the garden into a completely different world after sunset. And these scents don't just speak to insects. They speak directly to the most primitive parts of our own brains. The connection between scent and emotion is hardwired into our neurology. The smell of lavender, for example, has been shown in studies to genuinely slow down heart rate and lower blood pressure, interacting with our nervous system to induce a state of calm. Conversely, the delicate scent of jasmine doesn't just smell sweet. It has been observed to stimulate brainwaves associated with alertness and improved cognitive function. It's a form of natural aromatherapy, where the flower's chemical defense and attraction mechanisms just so happen to align perfectly with our own neurochemistry, offering a moment of peace or a gentle nudge of focus, all with a single breath. What's a flower scent that instantly changes your mood or brings back a powerful memory? I'd be fascinated to read about your experiences in the comments below. But this invisible language of scent is only half of the performance. The other half is a spectacular visual broadcast, a masterpiece of color designed to catch the eye from across a field. And those colors are not chosen for our benefit. They are tailored for a completely different kind of vision. Bees, for example, are the world's most important pollinators, but they are essentially blind to the color red. However, they can see a spectrum of light we can't, ultraviolet. So many flowers that appear plain yellow or white to us are secretly covered in intricate patterns visible only in UV light. These hidden markings, known as nectar guides, act like glowing landing strips on an aircraft carrier, directing the bee precisely to the center of the flower where the pollen and nectar await. We are completely oblivious to this secret layer of communication, a vibrant, hidden world of light and pattern painted all around us. The visual conversation doesn't end once the pollinator arrives either. Some flowers have developed an even more ingenious trick. They change color to signal that the show is over. The blossoms of the horse chestnut tree, for example, begin with a bright yellow spot at their center. But once a bee has visited and the flower has been successfully pollinated, that spot dramatically transforms into a deep crimson red. Remember, bees can't see red well, so the pollinated flower effectively becomes invisible to them, telling them, "Nothing more to see here, I've already been served." This allows the bee to conserve its energy by focusing only on the available yellow-spotted flowers, and it ensures the plant directs its pollinators with incredible precision. It's a traffic light system for insects, ensuring nobody wastes any time. And while flowers paint with an astonishing palette, one color remains famously elusive: true blue. In fact, less than 10% of the world's 280,000 flowering plant species can produce a blue flower. The reason is that there is no true, stable blue pigment in the plant kingdom. Flowers that appear blue, like hydrangeas or morning glories, are performing a brilliant act of chemical and optical trickery. They take a common red pigment, anthocyanin, and modify it, altering the pH of their cellular vacuoles or stacking pigment molecules in a way that reflects blue light back to our eyes. Creating blue is so metabolically expensive and chemically difficult that most plants simply haven't bothered to evolve the ability, making every genuinely blue petal a rare and remarkable scientific anomaly. Beyond color, there's a deeper, more fundamental beauty in the very structure of a flower, a silent, mathematical rhythm. The arrangement of petals on a flower, a concept known as phyllotaxis, very often follows one of the most famous patterns in the universe, the Fibonacci sequence. It's a sequence where each number is the sum of the two preceding ones: 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, and so on. Look closely. Lilies have 3 petals. Buttercups have 5. Delphiniums have 8. And marigolds have 13. This isn't a coincidence. This mathematical arrangement is the most efficient way to pack the petals around the center, ensuring each one has maximum exposure to sunlight and air without overshadowing its neighbors. It is pure, natural, geometric perfection. So, the next time you pause to admire a flower, remember you're not just looking at a pretty object. You're witnessing a masterclass in chemical communication, a light show painted in wavelengths we can't even perceive, and a living sculpture built on universal mathematical truths. It's an entire world of hidden signals, all designed to create a moment of connection. But what happens when those signals are sent not to attract, but to deceive? That's where things get truly strange. Have you ever caught a faint scent on the breeze and suddenly found yourself standing in your grandmother's garden 20 years in the past? It's not magic, but it's close. That phantom-like power of scent is one of the most mysterious and potent human experiences. And nature's most masterful perfumers, the flowers, have been harnessing this power for millions of years, creating invisible medicines that can soothe our minds and heal our bodies without us even realizing it. They are, quite literally, nature's own aromatherapists. Let's begin with a flower so famous for calm, it's practically a cliché: lavender. But the truth of how it works is anything but ordinary. We associate lavender with sleep and relaxation, but what's actually happening is a fascinating act of chemical persuasion. The main component responsible for its serene scent, a molecule called linalool, directly interacts with our brain's GABA receptors. These are the very same receptors targeted by anti-anxiety drugs like Xanax. Linalool essentially tells your overactive neurons to take a deep breath and slow down, reducing anxiety and promoting a state of restfulness without the drowsiness or side effects of medication. What's even more surprising is that this calming compound isn't exclusive to lavender. It's also found in over 200 other plants, including basil and, remarkably, certain strains of cannabis. So that feeling of peace you get from a field of lavender isn't just in your head. It's a genuine neurochemical event, a gentle, fragrant intervention. But if lavender is a gentle suggestion to relax, the scent of jasmine is a direct command. Researchers have discovered that the fragrance of the jasmine flower is so powerfully soothing, it can be as effective as potent sedatives. Eine Studie revealed, dass die zwei fragranten Moleküle released von Jasmin dramatisch erhöhen den Effekt eines Neurotransmitters called GABA, welches unser Brains primary off-switch ist. Es calmt Nervenzellen, relieved anxiety und promotes rest. Der Effekt war so profound, dass Scientists observierten, es könnte eine viable Substitut für Sleeping-Pillen oder Mood-Regulators. Imagine that! The delicate aroma from a single blossoming vine, possessing the same neurological calming power as a prescription drug, capable of transforming a room into a sanctuary of tranquility just by existing. This isn't just about a pleasant smell. It's about a flower that has evolved to produce a molecule that perfectly fits a lock in the human brain, turning the key to unlock a state of profound peace. From soothing the present moment, we move to a flower that can actually help us preserve the past. The classic romantic rose does more than stir emotions. It can physically cement memories into your mind while you sleep. In a truly astonishing study, researchers had participants play a memory game and then had them sleep. One group was exposed to the scent of roses while they learned, and then again during their deepest stage of sleep. The other group was not. The results were staggering. The group that inhaled the rose scent showed significantly better memory recall the next day. The theory is that the fragrance acts as a contextual cue, reactivating the hippocampus, the brain's memory center, during sleep and strengthening the neural pathways of the things you just learned. The rose's scent becomes a gentle, invisible tutor, helping your sleeping brain study for the test of tomorrow. It's an incredible testament to how deeply our senses are woven into the very fabric of our cognition. It's amazing how a simple scent can enhance our minds. What's a flower fragrance that instantly brings back a powerful memory for you? Share your story down below. I'd love to read about those moments. Now, while many flowers lull us into a state of calm, others are designed to do the complete opposite. Take the humble peppermint plant. We often think of its invigorating scent in terms of tea or candy, but its small, unassuming flowers are part of a system that produces one of nature's most effective stimulants. The smell of peppermint has been conclusively proven to be a powerful athletic performance enhancer. Studies have shown that athletes who simply inhale peppermint oil before a workout can run faster, have a stronger grip, and even perform more push-ups. It works by stimulating the part of the brain responsible for arousal and wakefulness, reducing the perception of fatigue, and even opening up the airways to allow for more oxygen intake. It's like a biological turbo boost, a completely natural way to tap into a hidden reserve of energy and focus, all triggered by the sharp, clean scent of a flowering herb. From physical energy, we turn to emotional resilience. The vibrant, cheerful geranium, with its fuzzy leaves and bright clusters of flowers, holds a powerful secret for hormonal and emotional balance. The floral, slightly rosy scent distilled from its leaves and blossoms has been used for centuries as a folk remedy, but modern science is now backing it up. Specifically, geranium oil has been shown to have a remarkable effect on anxiety, particularly in high-stress situations. In one study, focusing on women in the first stage of labor, inhaling the scent of geranium significantly reduced their anxiety levels and even had a stabilizing effect on their blood pressure. The flower's chemical compounds appear to work on the endocrine system, helping to regulate the hormones that can send our emotions into a tailspin. It is a floral bodyguard for the soul, providing a fragrant shield against stress and fear when we are at our most vulnerable. And speaking of blood pressure, let's journey to the tropics to meet a flower whose name literally means flower of flowers, ylang ylang. This exotic, star-shaped bloom releases an intensely sweet and hypnotic fragrance that has a direct, measurable effect on our cardiovascular system. Inhaling the aroma of ylang ylang has been shown in clinical trials to cause a significant decrease in blood pressure and heart rate. Its potent chemical constituents, like linalool, which we met in lavender, have a sedative effect on the nervous system, which in turn signals the body that it's safe to relax. The blood vessels dilate, the heart stops pounding so fiercely, and a wave of physical calm washes over the body. It's a remarkable example of how a flower's scent can function as a genuine therapeutic agent, offering a natural and beautiful way to help manage the physical symptoms of stress and hypertension. But here is perhaps the most mind-altering fact of all. The beautiful, healing, and relaxing fragrances that we enjoy so much were never meant for us. A flower's scent is its voice in a silent world, a complex chemical language it uses to survive. That sweet perfume from a rose or jasmine? It's not an invitation for you to stop and smell. It's a precisely engineered signal, a vibrant billboard designed to attract the specific bee or butterfly it needs for pollination. And the story gets even deeper. Some of those same pleasant-smelling compounds can be terrifying to other creatures. The lovely scent that we find calming might be a pungent, terrifying warning to a leaf-eating insect, screaming, "Stay away!" The flower is a master chemist, simultaneously creating a "come here" signal for its friends and a "get lost" sign for its enemies, using the very same aromatic molecules. Our entire experience of aromatherapy is a beautiful, accidental side effect. We are eavesdropping on a conversation between a flower and an insect. And by pure biological chance, our brains interpret that language as peace, memory, and healing. The garden isn't just a place of beauty. It's an invisible battlefield and a bustling communication hub. And we are just the lucky ones who get to walk through it, breathing in the glorious, unintended poetry. We often think of flowers as simple gifts, a splash of color on a windowsill. But what if I told you they are also ancient keys, unlocking the secret stories of human history, our rituals, our unspoken emotions, and even our deepest spiritual beliefs? Long before we had text messages, we had a language written in petals. Long before we had therapy, we had the calming presence of a simple bloom. We're about to journey back in time to see how flowers have been at the very heart of human culture for millennia. And that journey begins on the banks of the Nile, where the ancient Egyptians held one flower so sacred it was considered a symbol of creation itself. The blue lotus, often called the blue water lily, wasn't just a pretty flower to them, it was a potent spiritual icon. They observed how its petals closed at night and sank underwater, only to re-emerge and blossom again in the morning sun. For them, this was the perfect metaphor for rebirth and the rising of the sun god Ra. Priests and pharaohs used it in their most important ceremonies, believing it connected them to the divine. But here's the fascinating part. The blue lotus contains psychoactive alkaloids, meaning it could induce a state of heightened awareness and euphoria. It was essentially a key to another realm, a flower that could literally alter consciousness, making its association with the gods and the afterlife profoundly real for those who used it. From the quiet reverence of Egypt, let's rocket forward to the riotous streets of ancient Rome, where their love for flowers was anything but quiet. The Romans celebrated a festival called Floralia, dedicated to Flora, the goddess of flowers and spring. And this wasn't just a quaint little garden party. It was a week-long, citywide blowout filled with theatrical performances, wild games, and an unbelievable abundance of flowers. People would wear vibrant clothes instead of their usual white togas, and petals, particularly from lupins and bean flowers, were thrown everywhere, blanketing the streets and the crowds like colorful confetti. It was a time of joyous abandon, a complete release from the strictures of Roman life, all in honor of the life-giving power of the bloom. It shows us that flowers haven't just been symbols of peace and quiet, they have also been the life of the party on a civilization-wide scale for thousands of years. Now, flowers could be symbols of joy, but they could also represent immense power and unbelievable wealth. And no flower in history demonstrates this better than the delicate crocus, specifically the saffron crocus, Crocus sativus. Each small purple flower produces only 3 tiny, thread-like crimson stigmas. These threads, when harvested by hand, become saffron, the most expensive spice on earth by weight, a commodity that has at times been worth more than its weight in gold. Ancient frescoes in Crete from 1600 BC depict saffron gatherers, showing just how long we've prized it. Cleopatra herself was said to have bathed in saffron-infused mare's milk before meeting a suitor, believing in its alluring properties. It took, and still takes, harvesting up to 150,000 flowers to produce a single kilogram of saffron, a testament to the incredible value humanity has placed on the tiniest part of a single flower. Some of the most beautiful things in nature are completely priceless. What's one natural thing, big or small, that you personally believe is priceless? Share your answer in the comments below. I'd love to read what you cherish. As we move forward in time, the way we used flowers to communicate became more intricate, more secretive. Welcome to the Victorian era, a time of strict social etiquette where expressing true feelings was often frowned upon. So, how did you tell someone you loved them or despised them without saying a word? You used floriography, the language of flowers. An entire dictionary of floral meanings allowed people to send complex, coded messages through a simple bouquet. A red rose, of course, meant passionate love, but a yellow carnation screamed disdain. Giving someone basil meant hatred, while a sprig of lavender could signal distrust. It was a botanical secret code. A suitor might receive a tussie-mussy, a small, meaningful bouquet, and have to decipher its message, a thrilling or terrifying emotional puzzle hidden in plain sight. It turned every garden and every flower shop into a library of unspoken feelings. This idea of flowers as guides, as communicators between worlds, is nowhere more vibrant than in Mexico during Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead. The flower at the heart of this celebration is the marigold, or cempasúchil. It's called the flower of the dead, but not in a grim way. It's a flower of remembrance and welcome. It's believed that the marigold's brilliant orange and gold colors, along with its strong, pungent scent, form a sensory pathway that guides the spirits of deceased loved ones from the cemetery back to the family home to visit their ofrenda, or altar. Families create paths of marigold petals, scatter them over graves, and weave them into elaborate arches and crosses. The flower isn't a symbol of sadness. It's a bright, fragrant, beautiful bridge between the world of the living and the world of the spirits, ensuring that for one special time each year, nobody is truly gone. But what if the calming power of flowers isn't about abundance, but about discipline and minimalism? For that, we turn to Japan and the ancient art of ikebana. This is so much more than what we in the West call flower arranging. Ikebana is a disciplined art form, a spiritual practice that emphasizes shape, line, and form. Where a Western bouquet might be a riot of color, a traditional ikebana arrangement might consist of just a single, carefully chosen branch, a few leaves, and one perfect blossom. The empty space is just as important as the flower itself. The practice is a form of meditation, forcing the artist to observe nature closely, to appreciate asymmetry and imperfection, and to create a sense of harmony between the arrangement, the container, and its surroundings. It's a profound lesson in finding immense beauty and tranquility not in more, but in less. And isn't it incredible when ancient wisdom passed down through generations is finally validated by modern science? For centuries, people have used lavender to soothe anxiety and aid sleep. The Romans scented their baths with it, and in the medieval period, it was strewn on castle floors to disinfect and deodorize. It was always known as the flower of relaxation. Well, today, science can tell us why. Researchers have discovered that linalool, one of the fragrant alcohols in lavender vapor, directly affects the same parts of the brain as anti-anxiety drugs. By interacting with GABA receptors, it calms the nervous system without impairing movement. So that feeling of calm you get when you smell fresh lavender isn't just a placebo effect or a pleasant memory, it's a genuine biochemical reaction. It's ancient herbal wisdom, once dismissed as folklore, being proven true in a laboratory, showing us that the calming power of flowers is a real, measurable force. Beyond their colors and scents, which we've seen are masterpieces of evolutionary engineering, flowers hold another, more secret power. It's a language written in petals and stems, a silent dialogue that allowed people to say everything without uttering a single word. Because long before we had emojis, we had florography, the language of flowers. And while we often associate this charming practice with the buttoned-up Victorians, they didn't invent it. The Victorians actually popularized a system that had been observed for centuries in the Ottoman Empire, where the intricate social customs of the harem gave rise to a sophisticated floral code to communicate feelings that couldn't be spoken aloud. Lady Mary Wortley Montagu, an English aristocrat living in Turkey in the early 1700s, was so captivated by this secret language that she detailed it in her letters home, planting the seeds for what would become a full-blown sensation back in England a century later. This wasn't just about giving someone a pretty bouquet, it was a high-stakes social game. The Victorians developed this floral code into an incredibly complex art form, publishing countless flower dictionaries to help navigate the nuances. A single bouquet could be a declaration of love, a scathing insult, an acceptance, or a rejection. It all depended on the flowers chosen, their arrangement, and even how they were presented. This created a world where a simple trip to the garden or the florist was like stepping into a spy thriller. A tussy-mussy, A small, elegant bouquet could contain a secret conversation, with each bloom a carefully chosen word. Imagine receiving a bouquet and having to rush to your dictionary to decipher if you'd just been proposed to or politely told to get lost. It was social media, but with a much longer shelf life and a whole lot more pollen. Of course, at the heart of this language was its most famous symbol, the rose. But even the rose was a grammatical minefield. We think of red for love, and that's true, but the shade mattered. A deep, dark red rose signified deep, unconscious beauty, while a standard red was a straightforward, I love you. A white rose spoke of innocence and purity, but a withered white rose was a truly tragic symbol, meaning you had made no impression. Perhaps the most misunderstood of all was the yellow rose. Today, it's a bright, cheerful symbol of friendship and joy. But in the Victorian era, a yellow rose was a stinging accusation of jealousy and infidelity. Giving one to your partner wasn't a kind gesture, it was the opening shot in a silent, floral argument. The meaning has completely flipped over time, a reminder that even silent languages can evolve. And while many flowers carried messages of love and admiration, a surprising number were used to deliver devastatingly negative news. The floral language had a dark side, a vocabulary for scorn, resentment, and even danger. Handing someone a beautiful, fragrant rhododendron was actually a warning, a beautiful way of saying, "Beware, I am dangerous." A vibrant petunia, which we see in hanging baskets everywhere, carried a message of resentment and anger, essentially saying, "Your presence soothes me not." Even the lovely lavender, which we now associate with calm and relaxation, could be used to signify distrust. So the next time you see a stunning floral arrangement, it's worth remembering that it might not be a gesture of kindness. It could be a beautifully arranged, botanically precise insult. It really makes you wonder what other seemingly innocent flowers are hiding a shady past. What's a flower you always thought was lovely but might have a secret, darker meaning? Let me know your discoveries in the comments below. The symbolism wasn't just about emotion, it could also represent abstract concepts, and no color was more symbolic than blue. True blue flowers are incredibly rare in the plant kingdom. Many flowers we call blue, like hydrangeas, are actually shades of purple or violet. Plants don't have a true blue pigment, so creating the color requires complex cellular chemistry and light scattering tricks, almost like a botanical illusion. Because of this natural rarity, blue flowers, like the Himalayan blue poppy or the delphinium, came to symbolize the unattainable, the mysterious, and the infinite. They were the color of mystery, of striving for the impossible, of a love that was deep and boundless, but perhaps just out of reach. Giving someone a blue flower was like handing them a piece of the sky, a token of wonder and deep contemplative thought. This ability to turn a flower into a secret token reached a new level of social commentary in the late 19th century with the writer Oscar Wilde and his circle. Wilde famously asked his friends to wear a green carnation in their buttonholes to the opening night of his play. But this wasn't just a fashion statement. The carnation had been artificially dyed, giving it an unnatural color. This simple act turned the flower into a subtle, coded symbol of queer identity, a quiet sign of unnatural love and aestheticism, visible only to those in the know. It was a brilliant subversion of florography, using the secret language of flowers not for romance, but for rebellion and identity in a society that forced them into the shadows. The green carnation became a quiet badge of honor, a silent protest worn on a lapel. Even today, in a world of instant communication, this silent language endures, especially in moments of great significance. Royal wedding bouquets, for example, are never just a random assortment of pretty blooms. They are meticulously designed narratives. When Kate Middleton married Prince William, her bouquet contained lily of the valley for the return of happiness, sweet William for her husband, hyacinth for the constancy of love, and myrtle for marriage and hope. The myrtle was even a cutting from a plant grown from the myrtle in Queen Victoria's own wedding bouquet, a living link stretching back through generations of royal history. Each flower was a word, and the bouquet was a public statement, telling a story of love, duty, and tradition for the entire world to read. But perhaps the most intricate rule of this entire language wasn't just what flower you gave, but how you gave it. The final inflection in this silent speech was the gesture itself. If a flower was presented with the right hand, it meant yes. Presented with the left hand, it meant no. An even more subtle twist was the flower's orientation. If you were handed a bouquet that was pointing upwards, the sentiment expressed was the true meaning of the flowers. But if it was presented pointing downwards, the meaning was completely inverted. A red rose, the ultimate symbol of love, would suddenly mean the very opposite if held upside down. It was the final, crucial piece of grammar, a system so detailed that a simple tilt of the wrist could turn a declaration of eternal love into a final, heartbreaking goodbye. Imagine for a moment that every single flower you've ever seen is a lie. Not a malicious one, but a beautiful, colorful deception, hiding a secret world that operates on a scale so small and with rules so strange, it might as well be another dimension. We're about to peel back the petals and dive head first into that world, leaving our human senses behind. What we think of as simple flower dust, that yellow powder that makes us sneeze, is one of the most astonishingly complex structures in the natural world. Pollen grains are not just specks, they are microscopic sculptures, each with an architectural design so unique and intricate, it can be used to identify a plant species with absolute certainty, even from fossils millions of years old. The outer shell, called the exine, is made of one of the most durable organic materials known to exist, a polymer called sporopollenin. This material is so resilient it can survive for eons, withstanding extreme temperatures, harsh chemicals, and intense pressure. But the real magic is in the design. Some pollen grains look like spiked naval mines, others like geodesic domes, and some like perfectly dimpled golf balls. These shapes aren't random, they are custom-designed keys. The spikes and grooves help the pollen cling to the fur or feathers of a specific pollinator, and its unique shape ensures it will only be accepted by the stigma, the female part, of a flower from the exact same species, preventing cross-species pollination. It's a microscopic lock and key system engineered with a precision that is almost impossible to comprehend. Now, once a pollinator is carrying this microscopic key, how does it know which lock to visit next? The flower provides a map, but it's written in a language we can't see. Many flower petals contain intricate patterns of lines, dots, and bullseyes that are completely invisible to the human eye. This is because they're only visible in the ultraviolet spectrum of light. These markings are known as nectar guides, and for insects like bees, which can see UV light, they are brilliant, glowing landing strips. A plain yellow flower to us might appear to a bee as having a vibrant, dark purple bullseye right in the center, with shimmering lines radiating outwards, pointing directly to the hidden reserves of nectar and pollen. It's an incredibly efficient system, guiding the bee to its reward with pinpoint accuracy, ensuring the pollen gets exactly where it needs to go. The flower is essentially using a secret code, broadcasting a hidden message that says, "The good stuff is right here," and it's a broadcast only its intended audience can receive. But the secret messages don't stop with light. Flowers also speak a complex chemical language through their scent. That beautiful smell of a rose or a lily isn't just one single chemical. It's a carefully crafted perfume, a cocktail composed of hundreds of different volatile organic compounds. Each compound in this blend serves a purpose. Some are designed to attract specific pollinators from miles away, acting as a long-range beacon. Others are tailored to repel herbivores or pests that might try to eat the flower. The chemical signature can even change throughout the day, becoming more potent when its target pollinator is most active. In a way, a flower's scent is its voice, broadcasting a constant stream of information about its identity, its health, and whether it's ready for visitors. It's a silent, invisible conversation happening all around us, a symphony of scent with life or death consequences. Flowers don't just know how to talk, they also know how to keep time with a frightening degree of precision. Many flowers, like morning glories or 4 o'clocks, open and close their petals at the exact same time each day, a phenomenon known as nyctinasty. For centuries, we assumed this was a simple reaction to light or temperature, but the truth is far more amazing. Flowers possess an internal biological clock, governed by what scientists call clock genes. These genes create a feedback loop of proteins that builds up and breaks down over a roughly 24-hour cycle. This internal circadian rhythm allows the flower to anticipate the sunrise and sunset, not just react to it. It can prepare its petals to open just before dawn to maximize its exposure to morning pollinators, and close up at night to conserve energy and protect itself from the cold, all without a single external cue. It's a built-in, self-winding clock, ticking away inside every cell. If you could see an ultraviolet light like a bee, which flower would you be most curious to look at first? Let me know your pick in the comments below. Beyond the clockwork, there are physical defenses hidden in plain sight. Run your finger over a petal or a stem, and you might feel a slight fuzziness. Under a microscope, this fuzz is revealed to be a forest of tiny, intricate hairs called trichomes. These are far more than just plant fuzz. They are the flower's microscopic multi-tool. Some trichomes are sharp and spiky, forming a physical barrier that makes it difficult for small insects to walk on or lay eggs upon the plant's surface. Others are glandular, meaning they have a tiny sac at their tip that secretes sticky substances, oils, or even toxins. These can trap and kill small pests or release chemicals that make the plant taste terrible to larger herbivores. They also play a role in managing the flower's microclimate, creating a boundary layer of still air that reduces water loss in dry conditions and can even help reflect excess sunlight. They're a microscopic suit of armor and a personal climate control system all in one. But perhaps the most mind-bending secret a flower keeps is that it is, quite literally, electric. Plants generate weak electrical fields around them, and flowers, in particular, tend to carry a negative charge. Bees, as they fly through the air, build up a positive electrical charge through friction. As a positively charged bee approaches a negatively charged flower, a fascinating bit of physics occurs. The electrical potential difference is so great that pollen grains, which are incredibly light, can actually be induced to leap from the flower's anther and onto the bee's body, even without direct contact. The electrical attraction does the work. But here is where it enters the realm of science fiction. Once a bee has visited and collected pollen, the flower's electrical charge is altered for a short period of time. This change acts as an honest signal. The next bee that flies by can sense this altered electrical field and knows that the flower has been recently visited and its nectar has likely been depleted. It's a silent, electrical out-of-order sign, allowing the bee to save precious energy by moving on to a flower that hasn't been visited yet. And finally, deep within the cells of every petal and leaf, a hidden war is constantly being waged. When a flower is attacked by a microscopic enemy, like a fungus spore or a bacterium, it doesn't just sit there and take the damage. It fights back on a cellular level. The plant cells at the site of the attack initiate a hyperlocalized immune response, rapidly producing and deploying a class of antimicrobial compounds called phytoalexins. These are potent, custom-made toxins designed specifically to kill the invading pathogen. This response is incredibly targeted. Only the cells in the immediate vicinity of the threat are activated. It's like the flower has a microscopic army of medics and soldiers on standby, ready to deploy a chemical shield at a moment's notice to contain and neutralize an infection before it can spread. It's an unseen, microscopic battle for survival, happening on the surface of a bloom that we see only as a symbol of peace and tranquility. From invisible maps and electric signals to secret clocks and chemical warfare, the world within a single flower is infinitely more complex and mysterious than we could ever imagine. Imagine holding a seed in your hand that is older than every single country on Earth. What secrets of stillness would it hold? In our fast-paced world, we often forget the profound wisdom found in waiting. But flowers are the grand masters of patience. They don't rush, they don't hurry. They perform a quiet, deliberate ballet with time itself, and in doing so, they teach us the forgotten art of stillness. Let's begin with a true giant of patience, the infamous corpse flower, or Amorphophallus titanum. This is not a flower for the impatient. To see it bloom is a lesson in devotion, because the corpse flower can take a full decade of quiet, unassuming growth before it decides to reveal its colossal crimson bloom. For 10 years, it does little more than send up a single, tree-like leaf each year to soak up the sun, gathering and storing energy in a massive underground tuber that can weigh as much as a person. It waits. It gathers strength, and only when it has accumulated enough power does it produce its giant, strange, and famously stinky flower, which lasts for just 24 to 36 hours. This isn't just growth, it's a 10-year-long, slow-motion meditation for a single day of glory. But if a decade seems like a long time to wait for a flower, it's merely a blink of an eye for some species of bamboo. While we often think of bamboo as a fast-growing grass, its flowering cycle is one of the most mysterious and lengthy in the entire plant kingdom. Certain species, like Philostachys bambusoides, will grow for an astonishing 120 years without producing a single flower. An entire human lifetime can pass. Generations of people can live and die alongside a bamboo grove, never once seeing it bloom. Then, triggered by some unknown internal clock, every single stalk in that species all across the world will burst into flower at the exact same time. It's a phenomenon called gregarious flowering, a synchronized global event that has baffled scientists for centuries. After this one spectacular, long-awaited display, the entire grove dies. It's the ultimate act of patience for a single, final purpose. From the scale of a century, let's zoom into the patience of a single night. Meet the Queen of the Night, or Selanicarius grandiflorus. This unassuming cactus spends most of its life looking like a rather plain, climbing vine. It quietly bides its time, waiting for one very specific evening. On a single night each year, it produces one of the most magnificent and fragrant flowers in the world. As dusk falls, its huge white petals begin to unfurl, releasing an intoxicating vanilla-like scent that fills the night air. The bloom is at its most beautiful around midnight, a luminous beacon in the darkness for nocturnal pollinators like moths and bats. But its patience is for this moment alone. By sunrise, the flower has already wilted. Its fleeting beauty returned to the quiet stillness from which it came. It teaches us that some of the most profound moments are the ones we must wait for, and that last only for a breath. This waiting isn't just a passive state, it's an active biological necessity. Many flowers, especially those in temperate climates, practice a form of patience called vernalization. This is a truly incredible natural mechanism where the plant absolutely requires a long, mandatory period of cold before it will even consider flowering. Think of a tulip bulb. You can give it the best soil, the perfect amount of water, and a sunny spot, but if it hasn't experienced the chill of winter, it will simply refuse to bloom. The cold is a trigger, a signal that tells the plant's internal calendar that winter has passed and the safety of spring has arrived. It's the flower's way of ensuring it doesn't bloom too early and get caught by a late frost. It is patience encoded directly into its DNA, a genetic memory that says, wait for the cold, endure it, and only then is it time to grow. So much of a flower's life is about waiting for the right moment. What's the oldest plant you've ever cared for or planted? Share its story in the comments. It's amazing to think about the timelines these living things operate on. And if you think that's a testament to endurance, consider the patience of a seed. A seed is the ultimate vessel of potential, a tiny, self-contained life support system capable of waiting in absolute stillness for years, decades, or even millennia. The record for this breathtaking patience belongs to a Judean date palm seed. Discovered in the 1960s at the ancient fortress of Masada in Israel, this seed was radiocarbon dated to be approximately 2,000 years old. It was a silent witness to the Roman Empire, a relic from a time of ancient kings. For 2 millennia, it lay dormant, waiting. In 2005, scientists planted it, and incredibly, it sprouted. This ancient seed, nicknamed Methuselah, grew into a healthy palm tree, a living organism resurrected from a time long before any of us could imagine. It's a humbling reminder that deep within the smallest of things can lie a patience that outlasts empires. This incredible timing isn't just about temperature, it's also about light. Many flowers are masters of reading the sky, a process known as photoperiodism. They can literally measure the length of the days and nights. Some, like the poinsettia or chrysanthemum, are short-day plants. They will patiently wait all summer and refuse to flower until the days grow shorter and the nights grow longer, signaling the arrival of fall or winter. Others are long-day plants, like spinach or coneflowers, which do the opposite, waiting for the long, languid days of summer to burst into bloom. They are solar-powered timekeepers, using light as their clock, demonstrating a quiet, cellular intelligence that aligns their entire life cycle with the rhythm of the Earth's tilt. Even the simple, beautiful act of a flower opening is a masterclass in controlled, patient movement. A bud doesn't just pop open. It's a slow, deliberate process of hydraulics and cellular growth. The cells on the outer side of the petals will often grow faster than the cells on the inner side, creating a tension that forces the petal to curve outwards. At the same time, the plant pumps water into the cells, increasing what's called turgor pressure, which makes them firm and helps them push open. This unfurling can take hours, even days. It's a graceful, silent dance, a perfect example of how the most beautiful transformations happen not in an instant, but through a slow, steady, and patient process of becoming. And for a truly dramatic finale of lifelong patience, we look to the century plant, or Agave americana. Its name is a bit of an exaggeration, as it typically lives for 10 to 30 years, but its life strategy is no less astounding. For its entire life, the century plant is a model of restraint. It slowly grows its huge, spiky rosette of leaves, storing up sugars and nutrients in its heart. It waits, conserving all of its energy for one single monumental event. And then, at the end of its life, it sends up a single colossal flower stalk that can grow up to 25 feet tall, resembling a giant asparagus spear. This stalk erupts into a spectacular candelabra of yellowish-green flowers. This magnificent display drains every last bit of energy from the plant. After flowering, its life's purpose fulfilled, the parent plant dies, leaving behind its seeds and small pups to begin the long, patient cycle all over again. It is a lifetime of quiet waiting for one explosive, unforgettable moment of beauty. We often think of flowers blooming in gentle, sun-drenched meadows, their petals catching a soft breeze. But what happens when that meadow is a scorching desert, or a frozen Arctic tundra, or even the bottom of the sea? We picture petals as the definition of fragile, but some of the most beautiful flowers on Earth are also its most tenacious survivors. They don't just endure the world's harshest extremes, they bloom in defiance of them, painting life where it seems utterly impossible. Take the arid, sun-baked heart of the Australian outback. In a landscape of red dust and shimmering heat, you can find a flash of crimson so intense it looks like a wound in the earth. This is Sturt's desert pea. Its flower is an astonishing spectacle of blood-red petals with a glossy black center, a combination that seems too dramatic for such a desolate place. Its survival secret, however, lies dormant beneath the surface. The seeds of the desert pea are protected by an incredibly tough outer shell, allowing them to lie sleeping in the dry soil not just for years, but for decades, waiting. They are biding their time until the rare desert rains finally come. But even water isn't always enough. The seed coat is so resilient that it often requires the intense heat of a passing bushfire to crack it open, a trigger that signals the perfect, nutrient-rich conditions for germination. It's a flower born from fire and patience. From the trial of extreme heat, let's journey to the challenge of extreme altitude and cold. High in the European Alps, far above the tree line, where the air is thin and the winds are relentless, you'll find a true champion of the mountains, the alpine buttercup. This small, determined flower holds the record for being the highest flowering plant in the Alps, found blooming at over 13,000 feet on the slopes of the Finsteraarhorn. At these heights, temperatures regularly drop below freezing, even in summer. Yet, this buttercup has a brilliant trick up its sleeve. It's one of the very few plants on Earth capable of photosynthesis at temperatures hovering just above the freezing point of water. Even more remarkable is the design of its petals. The flower is shaped like a tiny parabolic dish, which it uses to reflect and focus the sun's rays directly onto its central reproductive parts. This clever solar tracking design can raise the internal temperature of the flower significantly higher than the surrounding air, creating a warm, inviting little microclimate for any brave insect pollinators that venture that high. It's incredible to think about a flower creating its own personal heat lamp. What's the most extreme place you've ever seen a flower growing? Share your survival story in the comments below. That buttercup uses the sun for warmth, but some plants have an even stranger relationship with heat. They chase fire itself. In the Fynbos region of South Africa, a landscape that is naturally shaped by periodic wildfires, lives the astonishing fire lily. As its name suggests, this plant has a profound and direct relationship with fire. After a blaze has swept through, turning the landscape to ash and charcoal, the fire lily does something miraculous. While other plants are decimated, its bulb, buried safely underground, is spurred into action. It can send up a flowering stalk and bloom within a matter of days, sometimes in as little as 24 hours post-fire. This incredible speed gives it a massive competitive advantage. the fire has cleared away all the dense, competing vegetation that would normally block the sunlight, and the ash has just deposited a fresh layer of rich nutrients into the soil. For the fire lily, a wildfire isn't a disaster. It's the starting gun for a new generation. From land scorched by fire, we move to shores lashed by salt. Life on a coastal cliff might seem idyllic, but it's a constant battle against corrosive, salt-laden sea spray that can desiccate and kill most plants. Yet this is the perfect home for the sea thrift. You can find its charming, pom-pom-like clusters of pink or purple flowers bobbing on slender stems all along the cliffs and salt marshes of the Northern Hemisphere. It looks delicate, but it possesses a hidden superpower. The sea thrift is a halophyte, a plant adapted to saline conditions. Its secret lies in its leaves, which are equipped with specialized glands that act like tiny desalination pumps. As the plant draws in water, it actively filters out the excess salt and excretes it through these glands onto the leaf surface, where it either crystallizes and falls off or is washed away by rain. It literally sweats salt to survive, allowing it to flourish in an environment that is toxic to almost everything else. Nature's engineering is just on another level. If you could design a plant with a special survival superpower, what would it be? But perhaps the most alien environment for a flower is not on land at all. Let's dive beneath the waves into the Mediterranean Sea. Here, in vast, swaying underwater meadows, we find Neptune grass. And while we call it a grass, it is a true bona fide flowering plant. It has roots, stems, leaves, and yes, it produces actual flowers entirely underwater. For a plant that can't rely on wind or bees, pollination becomes a monumental challenge. So Neptune grass evolved a breathtakingly unique solution. The male flowers release their pollen as long, sticky, thread-like filaments that are the same density as seawater. This allows them to drift neutrally in the currents, forming huge, slow-moving underwater clouds, like a ghostly net. This massively increases the chances of the pollen tangling with and fertilizing a receptive female flower. It's a process known as hydrophilic pollination, and it's one of the rarest reproductive strategies in the plant kingdom. Now, let's travel from the bottom of the sea all the way to the top of the world. In the high Arctic regions of Greenland, Canada, and Scandinavia, the growing season is brutally short, and the sun, when it appears, can circle the sky for 24 hours a day. Here, the Arctic poppy paints the barren, rocky tundra with splashes of yellow and white. Much like the alpine buttercup, this poppy is a master of solar energy. Its flower is heliotropic, a beautiful term meaning it follows the sun. Throughout the long Arctic day, the poppy's flower head will physically turn on its stem, tracking the sun's journey across the sky from east to west. This constant repositioning ensures its petals absorb the maximum amount of solar radiation possible. This not only fuels its growth, but also warms up the inside of the flower, making it a cozy resting and feeding spot for the few insect species, like Arctic bumblebees, that are essential for its pollination. Imagine a flower that never sleeps, just following the midnight sun. It makes you wonder what other incredible adaptations are hiding in plain sight. Let us know if you've heard of another sun-tracking plant. Our final survivor doesn't need soil at all. Not rich meadow soil, not desert sand, not even Arctic permafrost. It makes its home on sheer, barren rock. These plants are known as lithophytes, which literally means rock growers, and among the most spectacular are certain species of orchids. These orchids can be found clinging to life on vertical cliff faces and exposed boulders in the mountains of Southeast Asia. Their survival hinges on their remarkable roots. These roots are incredibly tough and fleshy, capable of working their way into the tiniest, almost invisible cracks in the rock, anchoring the plant against wind and rain. But how do they get nutrients? They create their own ecosystem. The dense, sprawling network of roots acts as a living net, trapping falling leaves, dust, moisture, and bird droppings. Over time, this trapped debris decomposes into a rich, personal pocket of compost. This amazing plant doesn't just find a place to live, it builds its own soil from nothing, right there on the face of a stone. Building your own soil on a barren rock is the ultimate survival move. Which of these resilient flowers impressed you the most? The fire chaser, the salt sweeper, or the rock climber? Cast your vote in the comments. From the blistering desert to the freezing peaks, from salted shores to the sunless depths of the sea, these flowers redefine our understanding of fragility. They teach us that true beauty isn't about being delicate or protected. It's about the astonishing, stubborn, and brilliant force of life's will to bloom, no matter the odds. Their petals aren't just for show. They are banners of survival, unfurled in the harshest corners of our world. As the sun dips below the horizon, most of the garden tucks itself in for the night, its vibrant colors fading into shades of gray. But for a select, enigmatic few, the show is just beginning. This is the secret world of nocturnal blooms, a silent opera that unfolds under the moon, and its stars are some of the most dramatic plants on Earth. Perhaps the most famous of these midnight performers is the night-blooming cereus, often called the Queen of the Night. This isn't just a flower, it's a celestial event. For 364 days of the year, it's a rather unassuming, scraggly cactus. But for one single night, it produces one of the most magnificent and fragrant flowers in the world. Its enormous white petals unfurl slowly after dusk, revealing a delicate starburst of stamens and releasing an intoxicating vanilla-like perfume into the cool night air. The bloom is so rare and so fleeting that people host parties, staying up all night just to witness it. By sunrise, it has wilted, its moment of glory gone forever. This incredibly short lifespan isn't for our benefit. It's a high-stakes strategy to attract its specific pollinators, the hawk moth and nectar-feeding bats, ensuring its legacy continues before the sun's harsh rays can scorch its delicate form. While the Queen of the Night demands a year of patience, her cousin in spirit, the moonflower, offers a nightly performance. A relative of the morning glory, the moonflower does the exact opposite. As twilight deepens, its tightly furled, trumpet-shaped buds begin to stir. In a process so swift, you can almost watch it happen in real time. The petals spiral open, often with a soft, audible pop. These huge, luminous white blossoms can reach 6 inches across and seem to glow with a pearlescent light, acting as brilliant landing pads for nocturnal moths. Their sweet, heady fragrance, which some compare to almond or orange blossoms, is released only after dark, a fragrant invitation that travels on the night breeze. It's a perfect example of a flower that has completely tailored its existence to a world without sunlight. But why are so many of these night-blooming flowers white or pale yellow? And why are their scents often so overwhelmingly powerful? It all comes down to their target audience. In the low-light conditions of night, vibrant colors like red and purple become nearly invisible. White, however, reflects the maximum amount of moonlight, appearing as a ghostly, glowing beacon against the dark foliage. The intense fragrance serves as a long-range guidance system. Moths, in particular, have an extraordinary sense of smell and can follow these scent trails from hundreds of yards away, navigating through the darkness to find their nectar-rich reward. It's a world of communication that relies on scent and luminescence, a completely different sensory landscape than the one used by daytime bees and butterflies. This nighttime theater isn't always so gentle and romantic, however. Some of its actors are as dangerous as they are beautiful. Take the angel's trumpet, or brugmansia. Its enormous, pendulous, trumpet-shaped flowers release one of the most intoxicatingly beautiful scents in the entire plant kingdom, a fragrance that peaks in the evening to attract hawk moths. Standing near one on a warm night can feel like being wrapped in a hypnotic perfume. But every single part of this plant contains a potent cocktail of toxic alkaloids. Ingesting it can cause terrifying hallucinations, paralysis, and even death. It's a stark reminder that in nature, the most alluring beauty can hide a formidable defense, a flower that invites you closer with its scent while warning you to keep your distance. What's the most powerfully scented flower you've ever encountered in person? Let me know down in the comments. I'm always curious about those unforgettable garden moments. The secrets of the night garden can get even stranger. Journey to Southeast Asia and you might encounter a tree so bizarre it's called the Midnight Horror. Its scientific name is Oroscillum pindicum, and it has evolved a truly unique relationship with the night. The tree produces strange, fleshy, trumpet-like flowers that open only after dark, emitting a strong, somewhat foul odor. Why? Because its primary pollinator is a bat. The flowers are specifically shaped and positioned to be accessible to bats, which are attracted by the scent. After a single night, the pollinated flower falls to the ground. But the strangest part comes later. The tree produces enormous, flat seed pods that can be 3 feet long, hanging from the bare branches like swords, and giving it another of its names, the broken bones tree. And while we're on the subject of bizarre strategies, let's unveil a secret held by one of the world's most infamous flowers. The corpse flower, or Titan arum, is famous for its massive size and its stench of rotting flesh, which it uses to attract carrion beetles and flesh flies. But what's less known is how it makes that smell so effective. In a stunning display of floral engineering, the flower's central spike, the spadix, heats itself up through a process called thermogenesis. It can reach the temperature of the human body, around 98 degrees Fahrenheit. This burst of heat helps volatilize the putrid sulfur compounds, sending the death perfume billowing out into the jungle air much farther and more effectively, creating an irresistible signal to any insect looking for a place to lay its eggs. It's a flower that literally runs a fever to ensure its survival. But not all nocturnal fragrances are designed to be overwhelming or strange. Some are masters of subtlety and timing. Consider the humble flowering tobacco, Nicotiana alata. During the day, its flowers may remain closed, their scent locked away. But as evening approaches, they open and release a wonderfully sweet and pervasive jasmine-like fragrance. The plant is conserving its energy, producing its costly perfume only when its pollinators, nocturnal moths, are active. Scientists have found that the genes responsible for producing these scent compounds literally switch on and off in a circadian rhythm, tied directly to the cycle of day and night. It's a perfectly calibrated system, a quiet and beautiful secret whispered only to the moon, reminding us that even after the sun has set, the garden is still very much alive, full of mystery, strategy, and breathtaking beauty waiting to be discovered. Have you ever wondered if flowers have a secret language, a silent, vibrant code hidden in plain sight? Well, they do. It's not a language spoken in words, but in color, in scent, in shape, a constant, beautiful conversation. And it's not meant for us. It's a call, an invitation, a carefully crafted message to the tiny travelers of the world, the ones who carry the spark of life from one blossom to the next. We see a field of yellow flowers and think of sunshine, but a bee sees something else entirely. Their eyes are tuned to a different channel, a world shimmering in ultraviolet light. Many of those yellow petals, to a bee, are adorned with intricate patterns we can't perceive. These are called nectar guides. They are nature's glowing runways, invisible bullseyes that scream, "The good stuff is right here." The flower essentially paints a secret map on its own petals, a map only its chosen partner can read, guiding the bee directly to the pollen and nectar, ensuring a successful transfer. It's an incredibly efficient system, a private message written in a language of light, turning a simple-looking petal into a sophisticated beacon. But the conversation goes far beyond just sight. Some flowers play a bit harder to get. Think of a tomato flower or a blueberry blossom. Their pollen isn't just sitting out in the open. It's locked away inside tiny salt shaker-like structures. No amount of gentle bumping from a honeybee will release it. This is where the bumblebee comes in, the specialist musician of the pollinator world. A bumblebee will land, grab onto the flower with its legs and jaw, and then do something remarkable. It decouples its wings from its flight muscles and engages those muscles in a powerful, high-frequency vibration. This targeted sonic blast, which hums at a frequency close to the musical note of middle C, is the only key that can unlock the pollen. It's a phenomenon known as buzz pollination, a percussive dance where the flower will only surrender its future to a creature that knows the secret handshake, or, in this case, the secret hum. This intricate dance between flower and pollinator is built on eons of trust and mutual benefit. But in the grand, competitive theater of nature, some flowers have evolved to be master manipulators, turning cooperation into outright deception. And few are more cunning than the mirror orchid. This flower is a brilliant imposter. It doesn't just vaguely resemble an insect. It has evolved to perfectly mimic the appearance, the texture, and, most astonishingly, the exact pheromonal scent of a specific female wasp. A hopeful male wasp, flying by, detects this irresistible scent and sees what he believes is a potential mate. He is completely duped. He lands and attempts to mate with the flower, and in his confused scrabbling, a packet of pollen sticks firmly to his body. Frustrated, he flies off, only to be fooled again by another orchid down the line, where he inadvertently deposits the pollen, completing the orchid's grand deception. The flower offers no nectar, no reward at all, just a clever lie written in the language of desire. Nature's level of trickery is just astounding. What's the most clever example of mimicry you've ever seen in the wild? Share your stories down below. It's always fascinating to see the creative solutions life comes up with. As the sun sets, a whole new act in this paradise begins. The bright, vivid colors designed for the daytime shift fade into the twilight, and a different set of invitations are sent out. Many of the world's most intoxicatingly fragrant flowers are, not coincidentally, white or pale yellow. Think of night-blooming jasmine or the ethereal moonflower. During the day, their scent is a mere whisper. But as darkness falls, they open up and release their rich, sweet perfume into the cool night air. This isn't for us or for the bees who are tucked away for the night. This is a clarion call for moths. These nocturnal navigators find their way not by sight, but by following these potent scent trails through the darkness. The pale color of the petals acts like a ghostly lantern in the moonlight, a final visual cue to guide them in. It's as if the flower has an internal clock, perfectly synchronized to its partner's schedule, saving its most precious energy for when it matters most. And the night holds even stranger partnerships. While moths follow sweet perfumes, other creatures of the dark are drawn to something far more pungent. In many parts of the world, flowers like those of the saguaro cactus or the durian fruit don't smell sweet at all. They emit a strong, musky, almost fermented odor. This peculiar scent is the calling card for bats. Bat-pollinated flowers are built for business. They are typically large, robust, and pallid, making them easy to find in the dark. And they hold vast quantities of nectar to reward their large, energy-hungry visitors. Bats are clumsy pollinators compared to bees, crashing into the blossoms and getting dusted in pollen as they greedily lap up the nectar. It's a less delicate dance perhaps, but a critically important one, especially in desert and tropical ecosystems where bats are the primary night shift workers. When morning returns, the symphony changes again. You've surely noticed how many flowers that attract hummingbirds are a brilliant shade of red or orange. There's a fascinating reason for this. Most insects, including bees, don't see the color red very well. To them, it often appears as a dull, uninteresting dark gray or black. By evolving red petals, the flower is essentially putting up a "no bees allowed" sign. It's a private invitation for hummingbirds. This clever color coding reserves the flower's high-octane, sugar-rich nectar exclusively for the birds, who need that incredible energy supply to power their frenetic flight. The design is just as specialized. The flowers are often shaped like long tubes to perfectly match a hummingbird's slender beak, and they rarely have a landing pad because hummingbirds prefer to hover, sipping like they're at a floating nectar bar. But of all these incredible relationships, there is one that is so intimate, so intertwined, that it blurs the line between two separate organisms. I'm talking about the fig and the fig wasp. This isn't just a partnership, it's a bond of life and death. A fig is not a fruit, it's an inflorescence, a secret garden of tiny flowers hidden inside a fleshy pod. The only way in is through a minuscule opening. A pregnant female fig wasp who was born inside another fig is the only creature on Earth small enough and determined enough to enter. She squirms her way inside, a journey so arduous that it rips off her wings and antennae. She will never leave. Once inside, she moves among the hundreds of tiny flowers, laying her eggs in some and, in the process, pollinating others with pollen she carried from her birth fig. Her life's work done, she dies inside the fig. Her offspring then hatch. The blind, wingless males hatch first, mate with their sisters inside the fig, and then chew an escape tunnel for them before they too die. The newly pregnant females then emerge through the tunnel, collecting pollen as they go, to fly off and find a new fig to enter, beginning the cycle all over again. Neither the fig nor the wasp can reproduce without the other. They are two parts of a single story, a breathtaking, almost unbelievable tale of sacrifice and symbiosis, playing out silently inside a fruit we so rarely think about. Every fig we see represents a successful completion of this incredible, tragic, and beautiful drama, a tiny, living tomb that gives rise to new life. We've spent so much time exploring the breathtaking beauty of flowers, how they capture light and command our gaze from across a field or from inside a vase. But their greatest gifts often come to us when we're not looking at them at all. Their true comfort is woven into the very fabric of our daily lives, in ways we might not even realize. It begins when we invite them in, not just for our eyes, but for our bodies and our minds. Take, for instance, that gentle cup of chamomile tea you might sip before bed. It's a classic remedy for a restless mind, but its power isn't just folklore. The tranquilizing effect comes from a specific antioxidant compound within the flower called apigenin. This molecule works in a surprisingly sophisticated way, binding to the same receptors in your brain that anti-anxiety medications target, which helps to decrease anxiety and initiate sleep. So when you're drinking chamomile, you're not just enjoying a floral infusion, you're engaging with a delicate, natural sedative that has been perfected by evolution. But the floral tea cabinet holds more than just sleep remedies. Consider the vibrant ruby red hibiscus tea, known around the world as roselle, sorrel, or carcade. Its tart, cranberry-like flavor is refreshing, but its real magic lies in its scientifically backed ability to lower blood pressure. Studies have shown that regular consumption can be as effective as some prescription medications for people with mild hypertension. This isn't just a soothing beverage, it's a form of botanical medicine, a delicious and beautiful way to care for your heart, enjoyed for centuries from Egypt to Mexico. From the cup to our skin, flowers offer another kind of deep, quiet comfort. You've surely heard of rose water, but its creation is a beautiful piece of alchemy. It's not just water with rose petals soaked in it. True rose water is the aromatic co-product of the steam distillation of rose petals to create rose essential oil. For every precious drop of oil, a much larger quantity of this fragrant water is created, carrying the water-soluble healing compounds of the rose. For millennia, it's been used as a gentle anti-inflammatory and facial toner, calming irritated skin and balancing its pH. It's the ghost of the rose, left behind to soothe and refresh. And speaking of scent, let's talk about lavender. We all know its aroma is relaxing, but science is finally catching up to why. The key is a compound called linalool, a terpene alcohol present in lavender's essential oil. When you inhale the scent of lavender, molecules of linalool travel from your lungs into your bloodstream and directly to your brain. Researchers in Japan found that it works by stimulating the same receptors that drugs like Valium do, but without the drowsy side effects. It calms the nervous system from the inside out, proving that its relaxing reputation is a genuine, measurable biochemical event. What's a scent from a flower or plant that instantly relaxes you? Share your favorite calming aroma in the comments below. It's always wonderful to discover new ones. The comfort of flowers extends even to the clothes we wear. Long before synthetic dyes were invented, the world was colored by plants. The cheerful marigold flower, for example, was a powerhouse of natural pigment. By simply boiling the flower heads in water, artisans could create a stunning range of brilliant yellows, golds, and oranges. These colors were used to dye wool, silk, and cotton, infusing textiles with the sunny disposition of the flower itself. Wearing a marigold-dyed garment was like wrapping yourself in captured sunlight. Some floral dyes, however, were far more complex and valuable. The safflower is a fascinating case. This thistle-like plant, with its fiery orange blossoms, offers two entirely different colors from the same petals. A simple water rinse would wash away a fleeting, fugitive yellow dye, but what remained hidden within the petals was a brilliant, permanent red called carthamin. To extract it required a meticulous, alkaline-based process. This precious red pigment was once so highly prized, it was used to color cosmetics, food, and even the sacred robes of Buddhist monks, rivaling saffron in its value. Beyond color, flowers offer direct, tangible healing for our skin. The humble pot marigold, or calendula, is a superstar in the world of herbal remedies. Its bright orange and yellow petals are packed with powerful compounds like flavonoids and triterpenoid saponins. These aren't just complex names, they are the plant's natural defense system, and they lend the flower incredible anti-inflammatory, antifungal, and wound-healing properties. When infused into oils and salves, calendula can soothe everything from scrapes and burns to eczema, accelerating tissue repair and protecting against infection. It's a gentle, floral first aid kit growing right in the garden. But the utility of flowers can take us to truly astonishing places, far beyond what you might imagine. Consider the common dandelion, often dismissed as a pesky weed. Certain species, particularly the Russian dandelion, hold a remarkable secret in their roots, a milky white latex that is chemically almost identical to the latex from rubber trees. During World War II, this plant was heavily researched as an alternative source for natural rubber. Today, with sustainability in focus, scientists and engineers are returning to the dandelion, developing it as a commercial source for high-performance rubber used in things like car tires. A field of dandelions isn't just a pretty sight, it's a potential factory for the materials that help move our world. And perhaps the most pervasive, yet subtle way flowers comfort us is through their mere image. You don't need a real flower to feel its effects. Environmental psychology studies have repeatedly demonstrated that simply looking at pictures of flowers, or even being in a room with a floral wallpaper pattern, can have a measurable positive impact on our mood. It lowers feelings of stress and anxiety, fosters a sense of calm, and can even increase feelings of happiness and life satisfaction. Our brains, it seems, are deeply and fundamentally wired to respond to the gentle, non-threatening, and beautiful geometry of a flower, finding a primal comfort in its form, whether it's real or not. They are a silent, constant source of peace, working on us from across the room, from a pattern on a pillow, or from a painting on a wall. Have you ever noticed how just looking at a field of lavender can untangle a knot in your mind you didn't even know was there? We often think of relaxation as an action, something we have to do. But what if it's something we can simply see? The floral world has been painting with a palette of pure tranquility for millions of years, using color not just for attraction, but as a silent, powerful language of peace. And the secrets behind these hues are more profound than you could ever imagine. We begin with a color that is famously elusive. In the entire kingdom of flowering plants, true blue is remarkably rare. While it might seem common in a garden center, scientists estimate that fewer than 10% of all flowering species on Earth have the ability to produce blue petals. This scarcity is precisely why we find it so captivating and calming. Our brains are wired to see blue as the color of stability, the endless sky, the deep ocean. When we see it in a flower, it feels like a special gift from nature, a rare moment of dependable peace in a world of chaotic greens and yellows. It's a color that asks for nothing and offers a sense of boundless serenity. But here's the most incredible part. Most of those blue flowers are actually performing a stunning act of chemical magic. They don't have a true blue pigment. Take the breathtaking delphinium, for instance. Its vibrant blue isn't from a single dye, but from a complex molecular structure that botanists call a supermolecule. It's a microscopic tower built by stacking red anthocyanin pigments, other colorless molecules called flavonoids, and charged metal ions in a precise layered arrangement. This incredible chemical architecture alters how the molecule absorbs and reflects light, shifting the perceived color from a common red all the way to that coveted, calming blue. The flower is literally bending the laws of chemistry to create a moment of peace for your eyes. From the blues of the sky, we drift into the twilight hues of violet and purple. There's a reason lavender is the undisputed champion of relaxation. The color violet has the shortest wavelength of any color in the visible spectrum of light, and some studies suggest this high-frequency energy has a uniquely calming and balancing effect on our human nervous system. It's a color associated with mindfulness, contemplation, and a quietening of the mind's chatter. It gently nudges us toward introspection, and in the case of lavender, this visual cue works in perfect harmony with its famous scent. The flower's purple hue is created by a specific blend of those anthocyanin pigments we just talked about, but its power is so deeply ingrained in our collective consciousness that its calming effects can be triggered by sight alone. Scientific studies have actually demonstrated that simply looking at high-resolution photographs of sprawling lavender fields can measurably lower a person's heart rate and cortisol levels, the primary stress hormone. It's a testament to how powerfully our minds connect a color to a feeling. What's a flower color that instantly makes you feel more at ease? Let me know down in the comments. I'm curious to see which hues resonate most. Now let's move to a color that isn't a color at all: white. In the world of light and physics, white isn't the absence of color, but rather the presence of all of them, a perfect reflection of every wavelength at once. In a garden or a floral arrangement, white flowers like lilies, orchids, and baby's breath serve as a kind of visual palette cleanser. They create a sense of brightness, purity, and open space, giving our eyes a place to rest amidst a riot of other colors. They don't demand your attention. They offer a serene, uncluttered pause, which is a powerful form of relaxation in our visually overstimulated world. This reflective power of white has also been harnessed by flowers for a far more strategic and magical purpose: communication after dark. An incredible number of night-blooming flowers, like the ethereal moonflower or the delicate evening primrose, are white or very pale yellow. This is a brilliant evolutionary adaptation designed to attract nocturnal pollinators. In the dim light of dusk or the soft glow of the moon, white petals become incredibly luminous, appearing to almost glow in the dark. They become beacons for moths and other night-flying insects, ensuring their survival continues long after the sun has set. Speaking of flowers that change their tune, we have to talk about the hydrangea. Its famous ability to be blue one year and pink the next isn't a genetic quirk or a different variety. It's a living, breathing chemistry experiment happening in your garden soil. The flower's color is almost entirely determined by the availability of aluminum ions in the ground. In acidic soil, aluminum is readily available for the plant to absorb, which interacts with its pigments to create those deep, serene blues. But in alkaline soil, the aluminum is locked up and unavailable, causing the petals to turn a gentle, romantic pink. The flower is a beautiful, natural litmus test, painting a picture of the invisible chemistry happening right under our feet. This nighttime spectacle is happening all around us. What's the most beautiful flower you've ever seen that only truly comes alive after dark? Describe it in the comments. And what about that soft pink? While bold reds shout for attention, pale pink whispers of gentleness, compassion, and affection. No culture has embraced this more deeply than Japan, with its reverence for the cherry blossom, or sakura. The annual tradition of hanami, which literally means flower viewing, is a national cultural event. Millions of people gather to simply sit beneath the pale pink canopies and appreciate their fleeting beauty. The philosophy behind it is deeply tied to finding peace. The soft pink blossoms are a reminder that life is beautiful but transient, and that there is a profound serenity in accepting its gentle, impermanent nature. It just goes to show you that even the most familiar flowers can hold incredible secrets. What's a flower you've seen in a color that completely surprised you? I'd love to hear about it. This gentle color can also be a symbol of incredible strength. When you think of a dandelion, you picture a bright, sunny yellow. But high in the mountains of Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan grows the pink dandelion. This isn't just a color variation, it is a completely distinct species, Taraxacum pseudo-roseum. It thrives in harsh, high-altitude conditions where its yellow cousins wouldn't survive. Its delicate, calming pink color belies an extraordinary resilience, a beautiful paradox that shows us that softness and strength can, and often do, grow from the very same root. Finally, some flowers use color not just to attract, but to politely say, "Thank you next." This is one of nature's most wonderfully efficient and peaceful systems. After a flower like a horse chestnut or lungwort has been successfully pollinated by a bee, it needs a way to tell other bees not to waste their time. So it changes color. The nectar guide at the center of the flower, which is often a bright, bee-attracting yellow, will transform into a deep red. Bees have trouble seeing red. To them, it blends in with the green foliage. This enreddening is a quiet, gentle signal that the flower is no longer offering nectar. It directs the bee to unpollinated flowers, saving the insect's precious energy and ensuring the plant's reproductive success. It's a silent, cooperative language written in color, a perfectly calm and orderly system for the greater good of both flower and bee. Imagine a flower that waits an entire year, gathering its strength for a single, breathtaking performance that lasts only one night. By dawn, it's gone forever. That fleeting moment, that beautiful, temporary existence, is just one chapter in the incredible story of a flower's life. But what if I told you that that story could also span 32,000 years? We often see flowers as symbols of the present moment, a splash of color that is here today and gone tomorrow. But their relationship with time is far more complex and magical than we can imagine. Some blooms are so ephemeral they make a mayfly look like a wise old elder. The queen of the night cactus, for instance, produces enormous, fragrant white flowers that begin to open only after the sun has set. For a few precious hours, they fill the darkness with an otherworldly perfume, attracting nocturnal pollinators like moths and bats, before wilting completely as the first rays of morning light appear. Their entire life cycle of beauty is lived out between dusk and dawn. From there, we have the flowers we try to hold on to, the cut stems in a vase. A cut rose might seem to be living a second life in your home, but it's actually in a frantic race against time. Once severed from its roots, it loses its water source and is essentially holding its breath. The flower continues to transpire, losing water through tiny pores in its petals and leaves, but can't replace it fast enough. This is why florists give you that little packet of flower food. It's not just plant sugar. It contains a biocide to kill bacteria that would clog the stem's water uptake channels, and a citric acid solution to lower the water's pH, helping the stem drink more efficiently, essentially putting the flower on life support to extend its final, beautiful moments for a few more days. But the story doesn't end with a single bloom. Some plants have mastered the art of resurrection, year after year. Think of the peony. A single peony plant can live for over 100 years in the same spot, producing extravagant, fragrant blossoms every spring without fail. When you plant a peony, you're not just gardening for yourself, you're planting a legacy for your children and even your grandchildren. These aren't just plants. They become living family heirlooms, marking the passage of time with a reliable and spectacular burst of life. This idea of a flower being passed down through generations is so beautiful. Do you have a plant in your family that has its own long history? Let me know down in the comments what it is and what stories it holds. While a century-old peony is impressive, some plants view 100 years as mere infancy. Out in the Namib Desert, the world's oldest and loneliest-looking plant resides. It's called Welwitschia mirabilis, and it is a true living fossil. It looks less like a plant and more like a pile of discarded green ribbons left in the sand. But this strange organism can live for more than 1,500 years. Some specimens are estimated to be over 2,000 years old. Throughout its incredibly long life, it continuously grows just 2 massive leaves, which get torn and tattered by the desert winds over centuries. And yes, it produces flowers, small cone-like blooms that have been appearing on the same ancient plant since the Roman Empire was at its peak. It's a humbling reminder of nature's sheer endurance. But even the 2,000-year lifespan of a Welwitschia is dwarfed by the potential for life locked away in a single dormant seed. In the 1970s, scientists excavating ancient squirrel burrows in the Siberian permafrost discovered a cache of seeds and fruits frozen solid for millennia. For decades, they sat in a research institute, just another curiosity. But then, scientists decided to try something audacious. They carefully extracted tissue from an unripe fruit of a particular plant, the narrow-leafed campion, and used it to grow whole new plants in a lab. Radiocarbon dating confirmed the original fruit was 32,000 years old. This means a flower that last bloomed during the Ice Age, when woolly mammoths still roamed the earth, was brought back to life. It bloomed, produced its own seeds, and proved that life's blueprint can survive, frozen in time, waiting for a second chance. From life resurrected to life preserved in stone, we can travel even further back to the very dawn of flowers. For a long time, the identity of the world's first flower was a complete mystery. But a fossil discovery in Spain revealed what many scientists now believe is the oldest known flowering plant. It's called Montsechia vidali, and it lived about 130 million years ago, floating in freshwater lakes during the age of the dinosaurs. It had no obvious petals and looked more like a common weed, but it represents a monumental step in evolution, one of the very first experiments in creating a flower. Every beautiful blossom we see today, from a daisy to an orchid, owes its existence to humble aquatic ancestors like this one, whose legacy is etched into rock. Of course, humans have developed their own ways to grant flowers a form of immortality. During the Victorian era, the language of flowers, or floriography, was a hugely popular way to send coded messages. But just as important was the art of preserving the flowers themselves. People would press blossoms in heavy books, not just to save their beauty, but to save the message and the memory associated with them. A token from a secret admirer, a flower from a wedding bouquet. This desire is still with us. Today, we use advanced techniques like freeze-drying and encasing flowers in resin to perfectly preserve bouquets, turning a fleeting floral arrangement into a permanent piece of art, a tangible memory that, like a fossil, captures a perfect moment in time. Ultimately, perhaps the greatest legacy a flower leaves behind isn't in a fossil or a pressed book, but in its very own code. A flower's lifespan might be short, but its genetic story can be eternal. Think about the thousands of varieties of tulips or roses that exist. Many of these started with a single, random genetic mutation in one flower centuries ago. A slight change in its DNA resulted in a new color or a ruffled petal. A curious gardener noticed it, cultivated it, and spread its seeds. That one tiny, accidental change in a single, forgotten flower has been passed down through countless generations, its genetic echo now blooming in gardens all across the world. In this way, a flower never truly dies. It simply passes its beauty forward, a continuous, branching story of elegance that stretches across the vast expanse of time. We've journeyed through fields of impossible color and uncovered the secret languages of petals. But what if the most profound power of a flower isn't just in seeing it or even understanding its history, but in touching the very soil it came from? What if the key to unlocking their deepest tranquility lies not in a vase on your table, but in a small patch of earth you can call your own? We're about to step into the garden, not just as admirers, but as creators of our own personal peace. Because the simple act of plunging your hands into the dirt does something remarkable to your mind, and it's not just a feeling, it's biochemistry. The soil itself is teeming with a specific, harmless microbe called Mycobacterium vaccae. When we inhale it or get it on our skin while gardening, this little organism triggers the release of serotonin in our brain. That's the same neurotransmitter targeted by many antidepressant medications. It's a literal, measurable mood booster that elevates feelings of happiness and well-being. So, that sense of clarity and contentment you feel after an hour of weeding isn't just your imagination or pride in your work. It's a genuine chemical reaction, a friendly microorganism from the earth giving your brain a gentle, calming hug. It's nature's own antidepressant, delivered through the simple, grounding act of gardening. And once you're there, surrounded by your plants, your brain gets another, more subtle gift. Look closely at a fern frond, a blooming rose, or the branching pattern of a tree. What you're seeing are fractals, complex, self-repeating patterns that are infinitely detailed. Our brains are uniquely hardwired to process these natural fractals with incredible ease. Unlike staring at a blank wall or the harsh, straight lines of a city block, which can be draining, looking at the fractal geometry of plants induces a state of soft fascination. This is a kind of effortless attention where your mind is engaged but not strained. It allows the part of your brain responsible for directed, focused attention to rest and recharge. It's the reason a walk in the woods or a few moments in a garden can leave you feeling more refreshed than a nap. Your mind is being gently held, not forced to work, by the beautiful, complex mathematics of the flowers around you. This visual therapy can be taken a step further with deliberate color choices. While a riot of vibrant, contrasting colors can be energizing and joyful, for pure, unadulterated calm, a monochromatic garden is almost unrivaled. A garden planted entirely with shades of white, for instance, creates a profound sense of serenity and unity. Flowers like white hydrangeas, moonflowers, iceberg roses, and baby's breath create a tranquil, dreamlike landscape. What's more, these white gardens have a secret life after the sun begins to set. As dusk falls and other colors fade into the gray, white petals seem to gather the fading light, glowing with an ethereal luminescence. This extends the garden's calming presence into the twilight hours, offering a peaceful sanctuary when the busy day finally comes to a close. It makes you wonder, what's the one color you'd choose for a garden designed purely for peace? Let me know your dream calming color in the comments below. This idea of a garden as a place of healing isn't just a pleasant thought, it's a recognized field of medicine. Horticultural therapy is a formal, professional practice used to help people recover from an astonishing range of ailments. It's prescribed for military veterans to help manage post-traumatic stress disorder, for patients recovering from surgery to speed up healing, and for individuals struggling with anxiety and depression. Studies have documented its powerful physiological effects. It actively lowers cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone, while also reducing blood pressure and heart rate. The simple act of caring for a living thing, of seeing tangible growth and life emerge from your efforts, provides a sense of purpose and control that can be profoundly healing for the mind and body. It is a living, breathing form of therapy. And this isn't a New Age concept. The deep human need for a green sanctuary is an ancient one. Thousands of years ago, the ancient Persians designed what they called paradisa. These were not just any gardens. They were walled enclosures, meticulously designed to be a paradise on earth. The wall served to separate the serene, orderly world within from the chaotic, harsh world outside. These were spaces of shade, water, fruit, and fragrant flowers, a complete sensory retreat. The very word peridiaza traveled through languages, eventually becoming our modern word paradise. This shows us that for millennia, we haven't just been growing plants for food or decoration, but we have been consciously designing spaces to act as a balm for the human soul, a direct ancestor of the Zen garden we seek today. Of course, a paradise for the soul must engage all the senses, and the most potent of these is often scent. The fragrance of a flower isn't just a pleasant perfume, it's a complex chemical message sent directly to the most primitive part of your brain. When you inhale the scent of lavender or jasmine, the aromatic molecules travel up your nose to the olfactory bulb, which has a direct link to the limbic system. This is the brain's control center for emotion, memory, and instinct. It's why a certain smell can instantly transport you back to childhood. But it goes deeper. The dominant chemical in lavender's scent, linalool, has been scientifically shown to have a sedative effect on the nervous system. It works on the same neurotransmitter pathways as anti-anxiety drugs, promoting relaxation and encouraging sleep without the groggy side effects. A fragrant garden isn't just sweet-smelling, it's a form of passive, all-natural aromatherapy, calming you from the inside out with every breath you take. Beyond the chemical and the sensory, there is a final layer of peace found in the rhythm of the work itself. The gentle, repetitive tasks that a garden requires, the patient pulling of weeds, the careful snipping of dead blossoms, the steady arc of a watering can, are a form of moving meditation. These simple, focused actions don't require intense cognitive effort, allowing your mind to quiet its endless internal chatter. This is what psychologists call a flow state, where you become so immersed in an activity that you lose track of time and your sense of self dissolves into the task at hand. It's a profoundly restorative state that silences anxiety and brings you fully into the present moment. Each weed pulled is a worry released. Each thirsty plant watered is a moment of nurturing, both for the plant and for yourself. It's not a chore, it's a practice of creating order, of fostering life, and of finding stillness in motion. It's not just a garden we're building, but an external reflection of the peace we seek within. And as these flowers reach for the sun, they teach us to do the same, showing us that growth is a quiet, beautiful, and constant process. We've journeyed together through fields of color, jungles of bizarre botany, and gardens of ancient secrets. We've explored the strange, the beautiful, and the downright unbelievable. But as we reach the final leg of our floral exploration, we're not winding down. We're blooming into a deeper understanding. We've seen how flowers feed us, heal us, and inspire us. Now, we're going to uncover the threads that tie it all together, the profound connections that reach back into the mists of time and stretch forward into the vastness of space. Our story, the shared story of humanity and flowers, is far older than any civilization we know. In fact, botanists have unearthed fossilized evidence of a flowering plant in Spain called Montsechia vidali. What's astonishing is its age. This unassuming aquatic plant lived and bloomed over 130 million years ago, coexisting with dinosaurs like the iguanodon and brachiosaurus. This isn't just the oldest flower ever found, it's a quiet testament that the gentle beauty of a bloom is one of the most ancient and resilient forms of life on our planet, a silent witness to epochs of unimaginable change. From the age of dinosaurs, let's leap forward to a time of corsets and courtship, the Victorian era, where flowers became a weapon of silent communication. The intricate system of floriography, or the language of flowers, was so complex and widely understood that an entire conversation could be had with a single bouquet. It wasn't just red roses mean love. A yellow carnation meant disdain. A sprig of lavender signaled devotion. You could accept a proposal by receiving a bouquet with your right hand or reject it with your left. Entire affairs, secret plots, and heartfelt confessions were carried out in plain sight, encoded in petals and stems, a fragrant, living form of cryptography. But this communication isn't just a human invention projected onto plants. Flowers themselves are masters of communication, operating on a level we are only just beginning to comprehend. Take the humble evening primrose. Scientists have discovered that this flower can actually hear the specific wing beat frequency of a buzzing bee. Within minutes of hearing its preferred pollinator approaching, the flower responds by temporarily sweetening its nectar, making it more attractive and rewarding. It doesn't react to other sounds like wind or the buzz of different insects. This is selective hearing and responsive action, a targeted, intelligent conversation between plant and pollinator. This ability to interact with the world touches our own biology in profound ways, especially through scent. Think about the smell of rain on a garden or the first lilac of spring. There's a scientific reason why these scents can trigger such a powerful, almost tidal wave of emotion and memory. Unlike our other senses, information from our sense of smell travels directly to the brain's limbic system, which houses our centers for emotion and memory. It bypasses the thalamus, our brain's main switchboard. This direct, unfiltered pathway is why a single whiff of a specific flower from your childhood can instantly transport you back decades, unlocking vivid, long-forgotten moments with breathtaking clarity. Is there a particular flower scent that instantly takes you back to a specific memory? Share what it is in the comments. It's amazing how universal this experience is. And while we often marvel at the largest and most dramatic flowers, some of the most incredible stories belong to the smallest. Floating on the surface of quiet ponds and marshes around the world is a plant called Wolffia globosa, also known as the Asian watermeal. It is, officially, the world's smallest flowering plant. It's so minuscule that it looks like a speck of cornmeal with no recognizable roots, stems, or leaves. You could fit more than a dozen of these complete, individual plants on the head of a single pin. Yet each tiny green dot is a perfect, functioning, flowering organism, a marvel of biological efficiency that proves grandeur doesn't always require scale. From the microscopic to the cosmic, the story of flowers has officially left the planet. Through the field of astrobotany, scientists have been exploring how to grow plants in the harsh environment of space, a critical step for long-term human exploration. In 2016, this endeavor had a beautiful breakthrough. Aboard the International Space Station, astronaut Scott Kelly successfully coaxed a zinnia plant to bloom. This wasn't just a first. It was a vibrant splash of orange and life against the sterile backdrop of technology and the blackness of space. It proved that flowers, these symbols of Earth, could take root and flourish in the most alien of environments, a hopeful promise for a future among the stars. But perhaps the most poetic story of all belongs to a flower you can likely never own and may never even see. It's called the kadupal flower, or the queen of the night. Found in Sri Lanka, this cactus flower has a life cycle so brief and so perfectly timed, it feels like something from a fairy tale. It begins to bloom only as midnight approaches, unfurling its delicate, ethereal white petals over several hours. It releases a beautiful, calming fragrance, but by dawn, it wilts and dies. Because it perishes the moment it's picked and its bloom is so fleeting, it is considered completely priceless. It cannot be bought or sold. Its value lies solely in the rare, singular experience of witnessing its brief, nocturnal beauty, a true gift of the present moment. And that brings us to the most serene, most hopeful fact of all. After this entire journey, exploring the bizarre, the beautiful, the ancient, and the futuristic, the greatest secret is that we have barely scratched the surface. Botanists estimate that the number of flowering plant species, or angiosperms, on Earth is somewhere around 400,000 known species. But here's the truly mind-boggling part. They also estimate that there are potentially tens, if not hundreds of thousands of species in remote jungles, deep valleys, and on isolated mountaintops that science has yet to discover. The floral library of our world is still largely unread. There are colors we haven't seen, scents we haven't smelled, and biological secrets we can't even imagine, all waiting patiently in the wild to be found. The story of flowers is not over. It is, and perhaps always will be, just beginning. From the first fossilized bloom to the first flower in space, we've seen that these incredible organisms are more than just decoration. They are survivors, communicators, timekeepers, and storytellers. They are a quiet, constant source of serenity in a chaotic world, a reminder of resilience, adaptation, and the simple, profound beauty of being alive. Thank you for taking this incredible journey with us. If you found a little bit of wonder and calm in these stories, consider subscribing and joining us for our next deep dive into the marvels of our world. Until then, look a little closer at the flowers around you. Their story is still unfolding.